What's up, everybody? It's me, Melonie Mac here, and I'm so excited for this video because I've been hinting on social media and it's been so hard not being able to say anything, but I did get to play the first 4 hours of Shadow of the Tomb Raider before it was released. So it's still, at the time of me filming this and uploading it, we're going to be at around a month before the game launches. So I'm just like, seriously, it was one of the biggest highlights of my whole year so far, being able to play the first 4 hours of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because you guys know how important this series is to me. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys some gameplay, and then after I'll edit it in of some more of me just talking and giving my feedback. But I want to show you some gameplay. I had to condense it. Even though I played 4 hours, I have to condense it into about 30 minutes of gameplay. No cutscenes or spoilerish stuff, so don't worry about that. This whole video is gonna have no spoilers. I mean, it just depends on what you consider spoilers. Obviously, if you don't want to see anything and you want to experience the whole game fresh, then you're gonna want to wait. But I mean, I'm not showing any spoiler content, so this is just enough to get you excited. So here we go.
Someone's over there. I have to get to them. Howlers. Fire. Someone must be around. Hello?
Jonah! Miguel! Can you hear me? Where are you?
I didn't know the storm would hit so hard. This is all my fault. I should have listened to Jonah, thought it through. I never should have taken that dagger. I hope no one else was hurt. No other village destroyed. I need to stop these cataclysms before it's too late. Damn it! That should be sharp enough.
can get through here. Give me a hand. You see that?
It must be Kwakyaku. We have to get down there.
You sure this is a path?
Come on, stay close to me.
This is definitely not a path. Oh. Oh, God.
Almost there.
Almost there. Heard that before. Oh, gotcha. You right?
I'm okay. Just a couple more steps.
Okay. Okay.
You're all right.
I'm okay. I'm okay. What do you think built all this?
It could have been the Inca. They knew a lot about hydraulics.
I hope that the bridge is down. Maybe we can lift it with those counterweights.
Maybe. We're getting closer to the village.
I can't wait to get back to civilization. These are different from the ruins in Mexico.
Nothing can get through. I want this whole area sealed off.
Yes, sir.
If there's anything here, we're gonna find it.
When's the
last time this thing was serviced? This is rusty.
Don't get distracted, Mendez.
What are we looking for here? Anything that moves. Anything that doesn't. They still didn't find that relic. I'd love to be the guy that does. Not me. Why not? You'd be a hero. I'll be dead more likely. No thanks. I'll keep sitting here looking for hostiles.
Less talking, more looking, gentlemen. Get off your asses.
Yes, sir.
Lara, we're clear. That was close.
Yeah,
How'd they know to come here?
I don't know.
Not exactly the civilization I was hoping to run into. Ugh, my arm is so itchy.
That means it's healing.
I might have liked it better when I was wounded.
Oh, I know. I'm just trying not to think about my back. That did it.
Nice.
Come on, let's go.
Any idea what the twins in that riddle are?
Could be anything. A pair of monuments or mountains or streams.
I suppose we'll know it when we see it.
Yeah. I see people down there.
Hope they're friendly.
I'll let you do the talking.
I don't know how they can gossip so cheerfully when we've lost so much.
I'm sorry.
Quería decir algo. Do you have anything you want to trade?
Hello?
Let me guess. Omar sent you to shake me down? Well, I'm not giving that bastard anything.
What are you talking about?
What am I? I'm sorry. I saw that knife and gun and figured... never mind. You looking for anything in particular or just browsing?
What do you have?
What do I have? This is Yaku, one of the greatest archaeological sites in South America. Well, it could be. It should be.
If it weren't for pillagers?
Exactly. Omar and his thugs are after money, not history. I have items of cultural significance for sale. They may be damaged, but they're worth restoring. Let me show you what I have. Excellent choice.
Those drones were unexpectedly heavy and sharp. Boat looks okay, though.
Glad you're here. We have a problem.
Jenny again? I'm on it.
Okay. So, are we getting scuba equipment or something? Better. Bunch of underwater drones.
Wish we knew what was going on.
Command, this is Dock Station. Operation Lone Wolf underway. Drones have been launched. They're 5 miles downriver. Signal is strong.
I'll let you know if they find anything.
We haven't been able to reach them. Over now. What the fuck is happening? I don't know. You know what?
We got someone!
We're almost there. All access points are covered, and most of the barricades are finished.
Almost isn't good enough. Secure the perimeter now, and make damn sure it's locked tight.
Aye, sir. If I could ask, sir, what's going on?
Recon team is en route. Rourke out.
Was there any indication what might be happening before we lost contact?
Shouldn't we send someone down to look for them?
Rourke was explicit. No search and rescue until the recon team gets here.
But it's almost been an hour since last contact.
The commander doesn't abandon his people. He says wait topside. He's got a damn good reason.
What? I'm gonna check it out. Gotta investigate.
It just went down and didn't come up.
Using mud to face. You, me, and you. This is where you die. Need to find her.
Okay, the perimeter's locked down. All we have to do is wait for the recon team.
Doesn't it seem a little weird to you? There was a problem underground. We were fortifying ourselves from a threat from overland.
Seems pretty standard. If something did go wrong, we should assume it could be anything. We've got the temple covered, too.
I don't know, man. It still feels like we went from an amber alert in a known area to a red alert all over the place.
We've been overreacting to things ever since that storm hit.
I hate this site. Like some creepy ghost town.
What do you think happened down there?
We're securing the site. Obviously somebody thinks they got attacked.
By what? There's nothing down there.
You sure? We were searching for something. Maybe they found it, and it wasn't what we thought.
The recon team will figure this out. Hang on. Taking a look. Something's not right.
Those were good men. They are good men.
Man down!
Jonah, Commander Rourke is here in Peru. He ordered Trinity to lock down a dig site below an old oil well.
You going to check it out?
Yeah, I'll see what they found. Rourke was there in Cozumel when Dominguez took the dagger. They must have figured out the next step to the hidden city. There's been a bloodbath here. What happened? Jonah, I made it inside the temple.
I think we found something here too. Some numbers. I'm gonna clear it off.
So I've made some notes here. Otherwise, I will just go off on a tangent and spend 2 hours saying something that I could condense into like 5-10 minutes. So if you see my eyes wandering around, I'm looking at my notes so I can stay on track. So anyway, a lot of you know one of my, well, possibly my biggest complaint with the reboot and with Rise of the Tomb Raider, as much as I love those games, I still had a glaring complaint, and that was that I never felt like Lara Croft was done justice. I felt like she was too dramatic, she was too serious, she was too even whiny at times, and that went with the entire character package. The voice acting was dramatic, her expressions were very dramatic. Everything about her character was just so dramatic, and they made her in a way that she's supposed to be more relatable and she's supposed to be more human-like, but she wasn't, because she's so serious all the time. Like, how can you relate to somebody who's like so serious constantly? You know what I mean? So I felt like that was counterintuitive, but this time around in Shadow, from what I've seen, they have done a complete 180. Like, she has so much personality now, and you see like a wide variety of emotions from her. So yeah, she's still gonna have those moments where she's sad or where she's like even a little dramatic, where it makes sense though, because you're also gonna see a lot more lighthearted moments. You're gonna see Lara laugh, you're gonna see her smile, you're gonna see her mad, you're gonna see all these things. Some of my favorite things about her personality is she's extremely passionate about archaeology, and that shows so much. Whenever she's talking to Jonah and explaining things, she'll just be like, she'll get ahead of herself and get like so excited and be explaining all these things that she's trying to find or that she already has found, or how she's deciphering different puzzles and things like that. And Jonah will be like, wait a minute, what? Can you basically explain this to me like I'm 5? So it's funny, you see her have to like baby it down a little bit because she just gets so ahead of herself, and she is so obsessed with archaeology. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that passion from her, that you could tell she actually enjoys it. So while she's trying to stop a Maya apocalypse, it's not all just a dramatic, like, it's not all about life or death situation, trying to survive type thing. She's enjoying this. Like, it's an adventure, and she's loving part of it. You know what I mean? So that makes me extremely excited. Another thing is Lara is the whole game is more lighthearted than the 2 before. And again, this is just based off of what I've played. There's a lot that I haven't played, so I'm sure it gets a lot more serious and grim based off of, especially Camilla's tweets and stuff, make me feel like it's gonna get darker than we've ever seen in a lot of ways. But I don't know, we'll see. But at the same time, it doesn't take itself too serious. The game this time, finally, it doesn't. It feels like an actual adventure, and that's what I want. That's what I love about Tomb Raider, is I feel like I'm going on these adventures with Lara Croft, and that's what I feel like with this too, because it's like, okay, Lara's trying to survive, she's trying to stop an apocalypse, this is a dire situation, but it's still an adventure at the same time, and she's enjoying it in a lot of ways. Something else is Lara is definitely very introverted this time around, and they've really played on that. I feel like the writers are definitely very in tune with varying personality types, and you can tell this really shows with Lara's character. So if you were to compare her to maybe some sort of Myers-Briggs personality, I feel like it would be along the lines of like an ISFP, which is the adventurer type, which there have been a little bit of variations debated on whether she's like ISFP, ISTP, but somewhere similar along those lines. So on that note, you can tell they really put a lot of care into detail into thinking what type of personality does Lara Croft have, and how does it make sense? How does she recharge? How does she see the world? What is she passionate about? How does she express herself? All of those things, and you can really tell that has been taken into account. So she is more introverted. There's a mention whenever she's in Mexico that she's not comfortable in crowds, and even when she socializes with people, there's a part where she tells Jonah, you do all the talking, because she's just not comfortable as much in that element. It doesn't mean that she's not confident in herself, because she is, but it's just not her strong point. I feel like that makes so much sense, and it made her so much more endearing in that way, because it's like, okay, you see a little bit of quirks and stuff like that with her. You see a little bit of things that are like, that's a little bit of weaknesses, if you will. And for her, one of her weaknesses is small talk, and socializing in general, it's not her comfort zone. And I loved seeing that. It was like, this makes so much sense for her, and it just makes her so much more believable on top of that. So that made me really happy. And, you know, whatever there's like small talk going along with Jonah, and that's another reason too, speaking of Jonah, that makes him such a vital character in this game, is that he brings out a lot of Lara's personality and he compliments her because he's more extroverted. He can talk to anybody and be chill about it or whatever. And that's not really Lara's strong point. So it helps with them having that dynamic with each other. So even when they do socialize and stuff, sometimes you can see Lara like standing behind him a little bit, or just kind of peeking over, or just, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm here. I'll talk when I'm spoken to, or if I need to say something. But for the most part, you know, she observes, and Jonah does most of the talking, especially when it comes to small talk, when she kind of zones out. So I love that so much. I just, that little touch just made me so happy. It was like, hey, this is totally like her. So she still has badass moments though, and she's still strong, because I know a lot of people who are watching this, especially the really classic fans, they're gonna be like, okay, but you know, what is she still like tough as nails and all this stuff like we've seen classic Lara in the past? And from what I've played and what I've seen, there's definitely moments of that. She's not gonna be like this heartless, stone cold badass 24/7 though. She has a lot of personality, and she has fun, and she's human, but she does have her moments. Just don't make her mad, you know. That's how I feel about it. But again, like, this is just based off what I've played. There's so much more to play, and I'm really excited to play more and to see more of her personality once I play more. So there's that. I feel like I've said enough about her personality, because I can talk forever if I don't. I do want to address, in my video I made about the LA reveal, one of my concerns that I mentioned was that I didn't want Jonah to be accompanying Lara 24/7. I was a little worried about that, because Lara is a bit of a loner, and that's how we've known her, and she likes to work alone and all that. So I can say with the 4 hours that I've played is that Jonah definitely isn't just thrown in there 24/7 too much. Like, Lara still has a lot of time on her own, and she still does things on her own. But I feel like it's a good balance, and I feel like having Jonah there is amazing. Jonah is so awesome this time around. He has a lot more personality too. Talking about personality and all that, he's not just some side character thrown in there. Like, he has his own great personality, and he's really likable in his way, and the way that he compliments Lara and the way that he gets her personality to come out, it just makes things so great, and it's so awesome having him there. So I gotta love that. And then I feel like the voice acting as a whole, you can tell the direction. You could tell they were given more freedom. I feel like it's very evident and apparent, because the voice acting is much more natural and is not dramatic from either Lara or Jonah or anybody else. It's just very natural, very believable voice acting, just phenomenal. Like, Camilla and Earl did an amazing job. So clap for that. Okay, so moving on to what else I want to talk about. Now, the difficulty system. I played on, which I showed in the gameplay, but I'll still talk about it a little bit. I played normal combat difficulty, because as a Tomb Raider fan, combat isn't exactly what I want the most difficulty in. I'll play it on hard difficulty as well, like in the future, once the full game comes out. But for all intents and purposes, I wanted a normal difficulty experience with combat, but I wanted hard on traversal and puzzles. So I just cannot stress enough how excited and how grateful I am that Eidos Montreal took the time to give us a multifaceted difficulty system, because this truly was for the fans. If they just wanted to not put in that time and just throw this out there, it's gonna sell. I really don't feel like that's gonna make it sell necessarily more, but it's something that us fans have been asking for, and especially those of us who've been with the series for so long. We want to see more difficulty in the puzzles and in the traversal, and they didn't have to do that, and they did, and so I'm so grateful for that. So basically what that means is no shiny ledges. You can turn survival instincts off and all that, which I did. So no hints, and then no like Lara telling you what to do next, for example, like maybe I should pull that lever over there or anything like that. Like, you don't have to worry about. That being said, it's not 100%, you know what I mean? Like, the shiny ledges are off, for example, but there's still going to be, like with the climbable trees, for example, they're still going to have the scratches. There are scratches on the trees, and then how it wrapped around. You're still going to see that. So that isn't, it's not like everything looks identical. You know, there's still climbable stuff still has its own thing. But I mean, even classic games had stuff like that. You know, you could tell what was climbable or what wasn't to a certain degree, like a ladder, for example. So yeah, it's not 100% discrete, but it's mostly, it still is very discrete in a lot of ways. And there's still a lot of areas that you're not going to know where to jump and where you're not going to know what's climbable. Like they definitely did a good job with that. So I feel like that was really fun for me, is just not having the direct path shown to me. And this also comes into play when you're doing a bunch of the crypts and the tombs, and you're collecting stuff, especially because then you're like, hey, I can't tell what else climbable. I know I want to get up here, or if there's somewhere that I'm visualizing that I want to go, I got to figure out how to do that. And so that played a huge role in that. So I did really like that. And then not having hints on puzzles is always great. Then I get to figure them out. So in terms of crypts and tombs, I did 1 crypt. I did 2 challenge tombs. And then there was a puzzle for the main story, which I'm not showing that just because I don't want to spoil that. But I don't know if anybody else is showing it in their gameplays or not. But I'm just not, because that main story puzzle was like, I thought it was a really good puzzle, and I liked what I experienced from that, so I don't want to spoil that for anybody else who also enjoys puzzles. So anyway, regarding the crypt itself, it felt like it could have been a tomb from like a full-fledged tomb, especially based off like the past 2 games. Because like it was great. It was grand. It had like a puzzle element, and it was really cool. So I liked it. And then the actual tombs themselves were very dynamic and had puzzles, and they had more of that like ambient classic Tomb Raider tomb feel, where it's almost scary to be in that tomb, and it's doesn't feel like a million people have already explored it. So I did really like that. There was one tomb in particular that gave me so much Tomb Raider Underworld vibes, so much, and I was like, yes, this is so cool. Something else I want to talk about is the balance between combat and exploring and puzzles and all that. Now, this is absolutely huge for me, because Tomb Raider to me is about exploration. Combat should be like an afterthought. One of the things that I loved about classic Tomb Raider is that it was mostly based around exploration and puzzles. I mean, depending on the game. I know Tomb Raider 2 had a lot of action, for example, but still, for the most part, the series is based around exploration and puzzles. And I feel like, especially Tomb Raider 2013 was very action heavy, very like people action heavy, you know what I mean? So this time around, from what I've played in the first 4 hours, I want to say the game was at least, and this is just based off me playing 4 hours off the top of my head and just throwing out an arbitrary number, but I want to say the exploration was at least 70% of what I played. At least, if not 80% or 90%. I'd say it's closer to 80% at least. So most of what I did in those 4 hours was explore, do puzzles, a lot of traversal, very like traversal based. And then there were, in the combat scenes that there were, most of it was with the wild. Most of it was with animals, more so than Trinity. But there still are, reasonable amount of fight scenes with Trinity. But what I played, there was a lot of like Jaguar and stuff like that. Or just like mostly just exploring, mostly traversing. So I love that. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. I don't want to be in a combat sequence for half the game or more. I want it to be mostly exploration. That's what it's about. And so it really is. It's like, wow, most of this game really is, from what I've played, it really is exploration. And that's just mind-blowing to me, because that's what I've wanted. Now moving forward, so I don't sound like I'm just super hyped and I got my blinders on and I can't see like anything, any critiques or anything like that. So I do have a little bit of things that I could critique a little bit, or that I hope to see moving to the full game when that comes out very soon. For me, is the outfits, first of all, I want to see a lot of outfits. That's just like, I gotta be honest, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but a lot of us, like especially classic fans, we love Lara and her assortment of outfits. It's just fun. It's just really fun. And I know she's I don't want her to come across as like a dress up doll or anything like that, but I mean, let's just face it, even with other games in general, we love changing outfits on our characters. Like, look at Fortnite, how much they sell in skins, and, League of Legends and all that. Like, we love us some skins and some outfits. So, I want to see more of that. Granted, I'm sure there will be a lot more of that than what I saw, but I didn't really see a lot. I switched between the two outfits. But I do want to see more of that. And I want to see, so for example, with the customizable outfits that you could swap out the bottoms and the tops and all that, that's for like the stat boost stuff. So, in one part of the gameplay, you could see a Jaguar pelt on that Lara was wearing, for example. So I wish that you could swap out actual cosmetic outfits that aren't affiliated with those stat boost stuff. The stuff that does give you stat boosts, like the pelt and all that, I gotta be honest, I'm probably not even wearing them on my first playthrough because I like the cosmetic look of her outfit that she's already wearing, or the different outfits that I hope that they have. A lot of us love that. I mean, look at like Tomb Raider Legend, how many outfits they had, which was really cool. I would love to see a huge range of outfits and just cosmetic cool stuff. Like most for like the story and all that, I think most of it should be practical outfits. I don't like the whole armor and stuff like that from Rise because it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I want to see, I don't know. I love the default outfit, for example, and the button down. Stuff of that nature. Like, I want to see more of that. And I want to see more just really cool tactical, mostly practical, but still throw in maybe some stuff that's not totally practical outfits as well. And I think that there's a balance with that, and with keeping Lara as a character who doesn't seem like a dress-up doll, or somebody who's still cool, and somebody who you still want to be able to take serious, but you can still have fun throwing in some fun outfits in there. I want to see some like throwback remade outfits from like Tomb Raider 3, for example. I really want that Area 51 Nevada outfit. I'm not sure if they'll ever do that fully because she does show her midriff. But I mean, stuff like that, I feel like I understand that they don't want to sexualize her character, and I appreciate that. I think that's amazing. But you could still, I mean, I feel like she could still wear a sports top and have her abs showing and not be sexualized, and not come across that way, especially if it's a bonus outfit that you can wear just for funsies that isn't a main story outfit. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. I want to see more stuff like that, and I kind of want to see, I don't know. I just want to see more fun outfits. And in terms of like other critiques and stuff, I do hope that there are more big dynamic puzzles. What I played was good and I liked it. I just want more. I feel like us Tomb Raider fans were very greedy when it comes to that kind of stuff. When it comes to puzzles, it's like, this is great, but I need more. And obviously there's so much more of the game to play, so I'm sure they already have more. But I want to see, like the more dynamic the puzzle, the more like complicated, the better. Like I want that in my life. So yeah. Other than that, honestly, I can truthfully say without a doubt that this is going to be my favorite Tomb Raider game of the whole rebooted franchise, and if not beyond that. I think that from what I've played, I could easily see this being my favorite Tomb Raider since Tomb Raider Last Revelation. And who knows, I might like it even better than that. Like, there's still so much more to play, and I'm just blown away. And I don't want to get people like all this false hope or whatever, and I don't want people, I don't know, but I can just genuinely tell you guys that as a fan, there is so much from this game that I've wanted to see as a fan of the franchise, and that they are delivering on. And I feel like those who have been fans, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised and happy, just like I am. So this makes me want Eidos Montreal to make all the Tomb Raider games, because I feel like they get it. They freaking get it. So I mean, it still is a continuation of like Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. So if you didn't like those games at all and you absolutely hated it in every single way, then you're not going to like this, because I mean, it's part of that series, so it's going to play a lot the same. But it's just cooler. It's better, and it feels more like there's more classic stuff implemented in it in terms of exploration and just settings, and it feels like an adventure, and it feels like a natural evolution of where Tomb Raider should be. I have to be honest, after I played those 4 hours of the game and I went home, I got a little depressed because I just wanted to play more. It sounds awful, but like, I was super excited for what I got to play, but then I was sad because I was like, I want to play more. I want to see what happens, and like, I have to wait now. So yeah, it's definitely, I'm excited about it. I'm blown away. It's what I wanted, and more. And I feel like they really get it, and I feel like Lara is perfect, and I love it. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that because I can just babble on forever, so I'm gonna try to not do that. But there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. All right. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.